we'll discuss that one.
Um,
Yes, yes, sir.
um, Actually, you mentioned in yesterday class like um, uh, for Amazon or any SQL Server database to connect to the from a client's machine,
Mm.
we should have port open. Okay, so
Mm.
in that case, like suppose we have this issue like port is not open, but how DBA can verify like that port is open from both the side? Like, is there any way to find out that port is not open so that we can inform Windows team?
Usually we will have, okay, for default instance 1433 that will be opened by default. Okay, default instance, the port number is 1433. If you install default instance, it will listen the connections from 1433 port number. Okay, so by default, once you install, by default automatically this 1433 will open. First thing. Second thing is, for named instance, the port number will be dynamically allocated. Okay, so where I can check this, I'll show you. Dynamically allocated during after installation. Once installation is completed, port number will be allocated dynamically, TCP/IP port number. Okay, so where to check? And of course, we have to change the port number. Okay, so we don't prefer dynamic port numbers. We'll prefer standard port numbers. Okay, so we will use 1433 is already assigned, right? So we will use other port numbers. Okay, 1434 is the UDP port. This is your TCP port. Okay, sometimes in the intro question they will ask you what is the default port number. Okay, for SQL Server that is 1433, and for UDP port also sometimes they will ask. Okay, 1434. Named instance, it will generate a 5-digit port number dynamically that we are going to change as per the organization standard policies. Okay, so where to change, how to change, I will show you, no problem. Right. So one more thing is, whenever you are connecting, whenever you're trying to connect to the SQL Server, if you're unable to connect, means there are two reasons. One is as discussed port. Okay. Second thing is this one, your laptop should connect with the organization network. Okay, in these two cases, usually you can connect to the SQL Server. If your laptop is not connected to the organization network, like by using VPN softwares and all, then in that case also you will get this connection issues. Okay, network related failures and all, you are going to get it. Fine. So here what we have to discuss, port, how to change the port, I'll tell you, and how to check whether the port is listening the connections or not. Okay, there is a command for that. Usually in the command prompt, we can use netstat. Netstat. Can anyone tell me this command?
Is it like port IP
Mhm.
or
That
IP
also we can check.
port?
See, we have one more command whether the port is opened or not. For that, we are going to use telnet command. Okay, telnet. We have to use telnet port number. Okay, so if it opens, I'll show you that port number. In case if it is opened, how to identify this is opened or not.
Okay.
Okay, in that case I'll tell you. Okay, I'll show you that one. If port is open, you will get a blank screen. If port is not opened, you will get error message. Okay, telnet, you have to give port number 1433. Of course it is 1433, but the problem is, okay, but the problem is telnet is a separate client that you have to install separately. Okay, telnet usually it won't work. For example, if you see here, if you give telnet, see here, telnet is not recognized as an internal or external command. Okay, so this is the
Mhm.
problem. So you have to enable this telnet and all. You have to install this telnet client so that it will work. If you type like this, there is one more black screen will come. If you got that black screen, the port is opened. 1433 is opened. Okay, if not, it won't open. You will get the error. Not this error, you will get different error. Okay, right. So someone already mentioned. Yes, okay, netstat AN, Nag. Uh, let me go and check. Right, if you see here, okay, each port number you can see here. This is your port number 1354455040504. These are all ports that are listening. Okay, if you see the state, that are listening. Okay, you can see here. So in this way, you can identify whether the port is opened or not.
Okay.
Okay. Listening means
Thanks.
port is opened. You can see the port number here. Okay, and the last one is the port number. Clear?
Yes.
And other persons, other people, don't worry, nothing to worry. So small thing, okay, not an issue. Those who don't have any idea about the sports and all, not an issue. You will came to know slowly. Okay, forget about it. Right. And let me go to this machine. Let me start the VM. Any other questions, guys? Someone asked recording permissions. Let me give you the recording permission. It's Lakshmi, right? Lakshmi, you have recording permissions. So anyone tried creating a SQL login, Windows login, and group login? Anyone tried? Muthu and Kusma. So is it successful? Any issues, any challenges you faced? Prayak, okay. Everything is smooth, right? Okay, good Muthu. Right. Let me, okay, Joel. Everything is fine, good, okay. Yeah, Muthu, I got your screenshots. Yeah, thank you for that. Okay, let me start the machine. So still having any issues, any challenges in creating a SQL login, Windows login, group login, anyone having any issues, no problem, you can ask me again. Nothing to worry. This is where you have to concentrate more and you should be very clear here. Okay, you should be very clear. If you don't clear, the problem is again, okay, while if anyone requested a permissions and all, then it will be very difficult to manage. Okay, so 90 percentage each organization follows, every organization follows the standard policy that okay, they don't allow individual logins to create in the SQL server. Okay, if one person is seeking for permission, imagine a new person is seeking for permissions. Windows and SQL was created. Jayant, okay, good Jayant. Okay, so individual logins, why they don't allow? It's not a standard policy. Okay, so if 500 people are trying to access my SQL server, of course I have to. If individual logins policy is there, I have to create 500 logins again. And the SSMS, if we expand logins also, the SSMS look and all not good, not standard. Okay, so that's why we don't prefer individual logins. 90% we don't prefer individual logins in the organization. For example, a fresh guy, a new guy, okay, requesting permissions, Windows authentication. They are asking for Windows authentication, right? So in that case, what we have to do? Can anyone tell me?
We need to check group login for him.
Yes, first of all, we have to check group login for him. Imagine there is no group login exist. Then
Check with colleague and let us know.
there is no group login at all. Imagine there is no group
Okay.
login
Okay.
at all. Okay, so
We need
in
to
such
check Windows
situation,
login status.
yes, of course. First, what we have to do is immediately, in case if they need generic login for new group created. Yes, Mutam. Okay, in case if they need it, the logic point is okay. If one guy from one team is seeking for permissions, means in the future might be other colleagues also might request permissions, right? Agree? Agree? So instead of creating individual logins for everyone, imagine if there is no Windows group login at all for the first time, even though you have one user who is requesting the access to the database, still ask him to create, to check with Windows team, ask him to like simply route him to the Windows team, ask him to create a AD group for him, just a group with a single user. Okay, So once next time, next day or next month or next year, if anyone is looking for permissions from their team, we don't do anything. Simply they will contact the Windows team. They will ask Windows team to add their names into that particular AD group. AD group means Active Directory group. Last time we discussed it, right? In the diagram, there is a separate system called security system called Active Directory, where the users are created. Okay. So even though there are no, see, for example, one guy came to you, or else he raised a request, I need permissions on this so and so database, so and so server. So even though there is no group login for their team, still will request that guy to check with Windows team. Hey, we don't have any policy to give you the individual logins or to create individual logins permissions. Do one thing, go to the Windows team, ping them or raise a request to the Windows team, ask them to create one AD group for you, for you or for your team. Okay. So once they created AD group, then let me know, like just give me that AD group. I'll create a Windows login for that AD group directly, so that in the future, if anyone comes to you, if anyone comes in that particular team, okay, so you can simply add, or else that Windows team can simply add that particular person into that group. So we don't do anything. In the same way, if anyone leaves from the organization, if 10 people leaves from the organization, again we have to remove all the 10 logins if we are creating individual logins. Agree? But imagine, okay, if we ask them, if any 10 people are removed or else left the organization, simply of course Windows team will remove their logins from the AD group automatically, so they are unable to connect to the SQL server. Is it clear, guys? Still having any issues? Yes, Dinesh, let me give you the
Yes, sir.
If you are not clear, let me know. Simply will request if anyone is looking for permissions. First important point, guys. First important point, we don't prefer individual logins. If Jayant is looking for, imagine Jayant is a single user, he is looking for permissions. For RDP access, what we'll do if we already, for RDP access, you have to check with Windows team. Okay, we don't control RDP access and all. Windows team can control the RDP access as well. Okay, simply ask the user to check with Windows team. We don't control RDP access. They have to get the approval done from the manager, then only they will get the RDP access. Okay, fine. So clear, right? So first important thing is, if Jayant or Dinesh or some Sajal is looking for permissions, imagine these are the developers. If they raised a request, we'll simply don't create login for Jayant, Sajal and all individually. Okay, so I'll request Jayant. Hey Jayant, okay, I see there are no group logins associated with your team. Okay, so do one thing, please check with the Windows team, ask them to create one AD group for you. Jayant will contact Windows team, he will raise a request, they will create a AD group for Jayant. Jayant will let us know that AD group name, then simply I'll create a group login for Jayant for that particular group. Then in the future, if someone added to the group, Windows team will directly add that particular person to that group, existing group. Once a login is created, how many members are there in that group, all will get the equal access. So nothing to do from our side. Is it clear? If it is a SQL login and all, then we are going to, there is no group login concept for SQL login, right? Then we have to create a login, okay, individual logins and all.
And we have to manage the
Lakshmi, what
permission level of
happened? Is it
that group.
disconnecting? Yes, yes, 1 minute, sir. Yeah, Lakshmi, you can record. Yes, sir. Someone is asking that.
Yeah, we have to manage the permission levels of that particular group, like, you know,
Yes, yes, yes.
like which and all database, like they need
Yes.
to have access.
Okay.
But
Yes,
will
yes, you
users
have to
will
see
tell to us like so
here
for database we need access.
simply, yeah, one thing, okay, simply if user is looking for a specific database and all, still we are going to recommend a group login. Why? Because might be some other person can request the same access in the future, right? 99.99% login means group login only. Is it clear, everyone? Why we are going to prefer group login? Is it clear? Still having any issues with the group login? Please let me know, everyone. Please, this is
For
important.
some users, they need to have access to particular database. For
Your
others,
voice is
they
not
prefer
clear.
to
Your
have
voice
access.
is not clear.
Hello.
Yes, yes. I cannot hear your voice.
Yeah,
Yeah. Tell me, sir.
how about now?
That's okay, but little bit very less voice I'm getting.
Okay, some users will prefer having access to particular database and other users prefer access, I mean, having access to other database. In that case, Shanmugh,
Same. If
so they
if
are the
anyone
part of
is,
the same Windows group, but again,
then you have to create. You have to request that users to create a separate Windows group. Okay. So always will
okay.
prefer a group login, right? AD group login. So in that case, if some users are looking for some access on some databases, if other users are looking for different access, then they have to even see one login or two login, one permission or two permissions. That doesn't matter for us. Okay, what matter for us is group logins. As a DB, 90% organizations will follow this policy. Okay, 10% is, of course, sometimes they are not very strict about it, but whenever audit is happens and all, then they came to know we are not creating a group logins and all. So again, like a warning bell will be given to the DBA team. Okay, so that's not good, right? So 90% will go for a group logins concept. In case some people are looking for different permissions, again we have to create one more group. Okay, or AD group from Windows help, like by taking a Windows team help. We are not going to create any AD group. So they have to, some other people are looking for different permissions. We'll request them, please check with Windows team, ask them to create a AD group. Okay. So even though in that AD group only one user is there, that doesn't mind for us. Okay. Only one user is there, that doesn't an issue for us. So we'll simply ask them to create an AD group for them. They will let us know and we'll create a AD group, Windows group login for them. Then on what database they're looking for permissions, we are going to give the permissions. Okay.
Okay, okay, sure.
Yeah. If different permissions means, again they have to request for different AD group. That's it. And again, all people, 100 people are there in the group. All 100 people will have same access. Okay. So let's see. Like for example, I want to see who are all there in my group. SQL DBA group. We have group login, right? I want to see who are all there in my group. How to verify? So there is a command called xp_login info. Okay, XP login info. This group name you can drag and drop, comma members. Okay, so in this way you can see admin is one person, Pranit is one person, Vinosh is one person. So this is the way we can see. See, we cannot see under local user mgr.msc. Why we cannot see? Tell me why we cannot see under local user mgr.msc. See, the group is created lusr mgr.msc. Here, if you double click on it, you can see all the persons, right? But we don't prefer this one. We only prefer this one. Can anyone tell me what is the reason? We always prefer this command only. We don't prefer this window. Why? Can anyone tell me? Yes, very good, Joel. Excellent. Okay.
Don't
Yes.
get access to the.
Yes, excellent. Okay. This is only for local machine. Okay. We usually, yesterday we discussed, we usually don't create groups in the local machine and all. Okay. So who will create? Windows team will create. Where they will create? They will create in the Active Directory. Why we cannot see? We don't have permissions to access the Active Directory. Okay, so that's why we will use this command only. We don't use other methods and all. So you can ask, sir, we have a group, right? If you double click on the group, I can see all the members, right? Why again I have to use this command? You can see, but when, if the group is created in the local machine. But we don't prefer local machines and all, right? Usually, if we prefer local groups and all, again we have to create a group. If 1,000 servers are there, the same SQL DBS group has to be created for 1,000 times. In each server we have to create SQL DBA group. So 1,000 times we have to create this group. Instead of that, we'll use the centralized security system, okay, which is Active Directory. Once we created this group there, automatically what and all servers are there in that domain, automatically in all the servers this group will be created. Is it clear, guys? So that's why if I want to see who are all there in my group, in this group, say for example, I told you, right, we have to check the group members, the colleague, they will tell the colleague names. Say for example, Pranit is requesting the Pranit is newly joined in the company. Okay. Pranit is requesting for permissions. We'll ask Pranit immediately. We'll ask Pranit, hi Pranit, we don't prefer individual logins. Do you know anyone from your team? Okay, so that in which group they are in, we'll check from our side and we are going to add, or else we'll request you to add in that group. If Pranit says, okay, I know Vino, she's from my team. Okay, can you please replicate the access of Vino's like that? If he says, okay, done. What we are going to do, we'll just log into the SQL server. We'll see all the group logins. We'll execute this command in which group we know she's a part of that particular group. Okay, then we can find this group. Okay, in this group we know she's there. Okay, so we'll request Pranit, hey Pranit, we know she's there in the SQL DBS group. Do one thing, go to the Windows team, ask them to add you in this particular group. Okay, imagine Pranit is not here. Imagine, I'm just saying, imagine this entry is not there. Okay, if he's already member of this group, you can see here. If he's not member of this group, you cannot see here. Clear, guys? Is it clear? Everyone? Any issues, any doubts, still any issues, please let me know. What now? What is that question now? How many servers you have? How check? Can you let me know the question properly? How many servers are there in the organization? How to check? You're asking. Okay, so in that case, see, different organization will follow different processes. Some organizations, okay, they will maintain a SQL Server database, maintenance database, SQL Server maintenance database. This database is part of all the SQL servers, okay, right? Like SQL maintenance DB, like the database name will be SQL maint DB. Maint DB means maintenance DB. So in this database, we'll have tables, right? Each database will have tables, right? In this table, they will maintain the list of servers, okay? Total, how many servers are there in those servers, how many prod, how many non-prod, okay? Who are the point of contact? I'm sorry, who are the point of contact or single point of contact for those servers? What is the application that is using that particular server? In case of any issues, to whom you have to contact. So everything will be maintained in the maintenance database. Okay, and some people will follow like this. Some people will follow a spreadsheet, or else like what is that, guys? A URL we can open spreadsheet only, na? We'll have some pages. What is the pages we are going to maintain? Anyone having any idea? Okay, so some organization will simply maintain in the Excel sheets. Okay, in the Excel sheets, they will maintain. Okay, and they are going to add. They are going to update the Excel sheet and all. Whatever details you want. How many servers are there? How many are prod? How many are non-prod? Some people will maintain SSRS, reporting services. Okay, so they will prepare a report. How many servers they are maintaining? Okay, how many are prod? How many are non-prod? How many are SQL 2012 versions, how many are 2008 R2 versions, how many are 2017 versions, like that. Different people will follow different process, okay, different policies. It's not a standard process. It's simply storing the data somewhere, that's it. You cannot see directly in the SQL Server until and unless if they don't create any maintenance database. Some people will create maintenance database, and in that database they will store all the server details. Some people will store the details in the Excel sheets. Some people will store the details in the spreadsheets. Okay, some people will store the details in the form of SSRS reports and all. Okay, once you go to the company, you have to ask where I can see all the servers. They will let you know. Okay. Any questions, any doubts, guys, please?
So for group logins, if we create, and in that case, if any user asks us, he is having the colleagues for that same group, but he need a permission more than that, like
That's what. Anything other than different permissions, other than the group, will request that particular person to create one more group.
okay.
Anything, either a group or a person, anyone is asking for permission, first of all will request. Why? Because why I'm saying this point, some organizations are very strict about the security. 90% organizations are very strict about the security. In that situation, if see 100 people are there in the group, but one person is looking for different permissions, then we'll request that person to go to the Windows team, ask them to create a AD group only for that person. Okay. So in the future, if anyone added to that particular group, if anyone is looking for same kind of permissions, we can simply add him into that particular group, or Windows team. We means Windows team can simply add him into the particular group. So nothing to do from our side. That is one thing. And security wise, group logins only we are going to prefer in instead of your individual logins. Okay, so one more thing, guys, let me lower your hands. Okay, just for a while. And okay, nothing to worry. Just tell me how many of you don't understand the security concept. Just raise your hands. What happened, Raviteja? You immediately raised the hand. How many of you don't understand the security? Please raise your hands. It's very
Understand, sir,
important.
what you said just now.
Yeah, okay, Raviteja. Okay. Tell me. So nothing to worry, guys. Don't hesitate. No issues. Okay. Why? Because I am sure at least 50% of you don't understand the group logins. It's a confusion topic, small okay, topic only, but it's kind of confusion topic. If you are really confusing, if you're having confusion, let me know. But and again, let me know where you are struggling. Let me know the corner so that I can again elaborate that one. Satish, tell me where you are actually facing the issue. Why?
Individual
Because
logins.
which
Individual logins.
individual login?
Yes.
What happened to individual logins? What is the issue with individual logins?
Sorry.
Just tell me, no problem. You can tell me in Telugu also, no issues at all.
అదే సార్ నేను ఏమంటున్నా అంటే ఏడీడీ గ్రూప్ నుంచి ఎలా రిక్వెస్ట్ తీసుకోవాలనేది నాకు కొంచెం అర్థం కావట్లేదు.
మీన్స్ ఎలా రిక్వెస్ట్
Login.
తీసుకోవాలంటే ఎలా అంటే ఎలా అని మీ ఉద్దేశం?
నా ఉద్దేశం ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు మనం ఒకరు వచ్చి మనల్ని అడిగారు అనుకో లాగిన్ పర్మిషన్ కావాలని మన గ్రూప్ లోకి జాయిన్ కావాలని, మళ్ళీ ఏడీ గ్రూప్ కు వాళ్ళు అప్రోచ్ అయినారంటే మళ్ళీ మనకి ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది?
ఏం అవసరం లేదు. ఒక్కసారి వాళ్ళు ఏడీ గ్రూప్ కి అప్రోచ్ అయితే ఓకేనా, వాళ్ళకి విండోస్ టీమ్ వాళ్ళని ఏడీ గ్రూప్ లో యాడ్ చేసేస్తే ఇంకా మనల్ని వాళ్ళు అప్రోచ్ అవ్వరు. ఎందుకంటే పర్మిషన్స్ వచ్చేస్తాయి వాళ్ళకి. ఇన్ కేస్ వాళ్ళకి ఇంకా రాకపోతే అప్పుడు మనల్ని అప్రోచ్ అవుతారు. వాళ్ళు విండోస్ టీమ్ ని కాంటాక్ట్ అవగానే ఇష్యూ ఇస్ క్లోజ్డ్.
మనం ఆ గ్రూప్ ని ఇక్కడ యాడ్ చేయాలి కదా షణ్ముఖ్.
ఇంకా మనం అది ఫస్ట్ టైం అయితే, ఆల్రెడీ ఉన్న గ్రూప్ అయితే
ఉన్న గ్రూప్ అయితే వచ్చేస్తుంది. ఫస్ట్ టైం అయితే వీ హావ్ టు యాడ్ దట్ గ్రూప్ హియర్ కదా.
ఫస్ట్ టైం అయితే అసలు ఇఫ్ దెర్ ఇస్ నో గ్రూప్ ఎట్ ఆల్, దెన్ once AD group is created, they will let us know. Who? Imagine Praneeth is requesting for the access. Praneeth first login, there is no more group logins and all. Praneeth is requesting for the access, so we'll request Praneeth to check with the Windows team. Praneeth will contact Windows team. Praneeth will raise a request to create a Windows group login. Windows people will create a Windows group login. Once Windows people create a group login, Praneeth won't get access, right? Means Praneeth request is not fulfilled. So what Praneeth will do? Praneeth will simply get back to us. Hey, my group account is created. Can you please give the access now? Then we'll create a group login immediately. And creating group login and individual login, there is no difference. If it is group login, we'll give group login name. If it is individual login, we'll give individual login name. There is no extra permissions. There is no extra settings we have to enable for group login and individual login. If it is a group login, we'll give group login name. If it is individual login, we'll give individual login name. Clear, Satish? If the group is not existed, that Praneeth will come back to us, okay, and will create a Windows group login for particular group. If group is already existed, Windows team will add Praneeth into that group. There the matter ends. Praneeth cannot get back to us. Why? Because he will get the requested access once he added into the existing group. Okay. Right. Still having any questions, you can let me know. And again, I'll request you to watch the security videos, okay, multiple times so that you will get the clarity. Right, fine, guys. So today we'll discuss about the roles, server roles, okay. So logins and all is created. And one more thing, guys, how to change the port number, okay. So for this, we have a separate tool. Other than SSMS, SQL Server will provide a separate tool. In the services.msc, we can see all the services, right? Agree? Right? We can see all the services, even non-SQL related services also we can see in the services.msc. but SQL Server provides a separate tool for us to see only SQL related services. Of course, your SQL services will be there in the services.msc. Apart from that, we will specific SQL services. Okay, only SQL services you can see in one more tool. That tool is called Configuration Manager. You can see with red briefcase. Okay, SQL Server Configuration Manager. So if you don't see here, simply you will type Configuration Manager, you will get it. Configuration Manager. Okay, so if you see here, this is our Configuration Manager. Each version will have its own Configuration Manager. By default, it will come. You are going to install shared features, right? When you install shared features, this Configuration Manager will come automatically. Okay, so this is how we are going to check. In this Configuration Manager, you can see only SQL related services. You don't see other services and all. Only SQL related services. Okay, and the two shared service, not shared, this one specific services with one browser service. That's it. Okay, you can see
We
here,
have less
this is,
than a minute, Sharma.
yeah. Let me close, let me reopen the meeting. Please join with the same link, guys.